Welcome everybody. Welcome back. I'm glad to get back. Episode 2 of season 2. Our last guest we had Dan Fouts, the one and great Hall of Famer. We learned a lot about quarterbacks, today compared to when he played. But today we're gonna take it back a bit. Now we're gonna talk to student athletes. I got a couple student athletes that play at a collegiate level lined up. But today we're gonna go all the way back to my high school years. Today we have one of my cool friends that we got to hang out together, but it's also interesting because we haven't seen each other in since March of whatever the pandemic. So this next athlete, he goes to Oglethorpe University, um, in Atlanta, Georgia. He plays lacrosse, from San Diego, California. Please welcome Robbie Coull Jr.
School got canceled in March, and then I flew out at the end of August. So 5 months later, still kind of in the middle of the pandemic. I mean, the pandemic was only getting bigger, it was only ramping up. So going out there was crazy. One, obviously going away to college, going to the other side of the country, but also then during that pandemic was so weird. I mean, I was just super lucky and grateful, just because a lot of my friends were doing online school. They weren't actually able to go to their university. I mean, I was doing online school, but from my dorm because I had to, be there. I can't do online lacrosse practice. But
Yeah, sure.
yeah, it was super crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, I tell some people the story. Obviously, you were one of the brave ones, I say, because you actually went out of the state, across the state. I almost went to Sacramento
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the pandemic.
Dang.
So
Yeah.
I did the whole, online thing, community college, and 2 years later, I get the experience to somewhat move out. I just went 2 hours up north. You went across the country.
Yeah.
So
About six
yeah,
hours on a plane.
yeah, 6 hours of plane. Mine's like a 2 hour car drive, depending on traffic. You played basketball. You played
Yeah.
lacrosse. Were you a
Yeah.
three times four athlete or two?
No, they tried to get me to do cross country, but I wouldn't do it. Could not run like that, even
Okay.
though all I do
So
now is run.
what made you say, like, you know what? I want to continue to play lacrosse.
So I was actually just telling my friend this story in the gym earlier. Um, I was a dual sport athlete for 4 years, basketball and lacrosse, and every year basketball season would end, we'd be late in the playoffs or we'd be in the playoffs. So lacrosse had already started by before basketball's ending. So I'd would lose in the playoffs in basketball, and then the next day I'm at practice for lacrosse. I got a game in a week. So I had this need for being an athlete, right? And after once I was approaching my senior year and I realized this is it for me, no more sports after high school. I was like, nah, I gotta change that. And so I would be playing basketball in college if I could, because I love basketball so much. Basketball was my first love. I found lacrosse once I got into high school at Del Lago, but I'm not necessarily built for college basketball, but I am for college lacrosse. And um, I just got lucky enough that I put my recruit tape out there and put out my grades and my stats, and coaches came calling my senior year. And I knew I couldn't go 4 years playing a sport every day to not having that. So I had to take every chance I could.
Reading your biography from the athletic page. I should have known once I read it. You're a film major. Is that what it is?
Yep. Yeah.
As soon as
So
I read that, the first thing that came to my head, senior year, I don't remember if it was weekly or monthly, used to make these small little videos that I
yeah.
commented, what song is this? That's the first thing that came, like, oh my God, I totally see you doing that.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, what's something you want to do with that?
My major is film and media studies. So it's you got your film and then also your digital media in there. With I'm doing a business administration minor, just so I get a little bit of business in there too. What I want to do with that is just do digital media. Hopefully I can stay in sports, either with the NCAA or with the Atlanta Hawks. I think that would be such a crazy opportunity. to be able to use my skills with media for the Hawks, whether that's, on site, I'm recording, or maybe I'm editing post after the game or whatever it is. Maybe I'm writing articles. There's so many opportunities, so many things. And that's kind of what I'm doing now. I write articles for my school, our women's basketball team. I write all those articles. So shout out to women's basketball. They're doing pretty good. Just love to go anywhere, hope in sports, if not with entertainment, and then just media, because just everything is online. And now we're getting into, it's a little off topic, but the metaverse. It's like
Oh
I don't
yeah.
even know the opportunities in there.
We love getting off topic here in the Manny podcast. Yeah, so
Yeah,
now that you mentioned that, we're kind of like in a similar path. So
yeah,
obviously, I ended up in Long Beach 2 years later. I'm also writing for the school paper, but
nice.
I'm covering sports right now. So this next semester,
Okay,
my main goal is to cover more sports. Whether it's the men's volleyball because they're nationally known,
yeah,
and yeah, so I mean that's kind of something I kind of want to do with it, but I also want to do this. So it's pretty interesting that we have something similar, and I mean why we get along.
yeah, definitely. And I think you can probably relate to this. I mean, like a big reason why I want to do it is just like there's something about creating that's just like therapeutic. And like and it's just like you're creating work, putting out into the world, like it can like help people, it can change people. Like that's why I like doing the videos. That's why I like doing like short film stuff. That's why I'm doing the sports articles, just stuff like that. It's just like it's fun, and then you can make it into a career too if you're smart about it. Like,
Are you still considered a California boy now, or is
dude,
that you're
yeah,
taking away?
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, like, gotta stay loyal to where I'm from. When I'm out there, I'm like putting on for San Diego, doing my best to at least on my cleats. Uh, there's this group of us on the lacrosse team at Del Lago. We called ourselves like the Lake Boys because Del Lago, the lake.
Yeah,
Um, so we call ourselves Lake Boys, and I put that on my cleats. One says Lake, one says Boys. Just as like a tribute to just my boys, and then us back home, and really just like Del Lago, because it's just so instrumental. I mean, if I didn't go to Del Lago, I wouldn't be a college athlete, not at all. I don't think I would have picked up lacrosse. I don't, none of that. It's so crazy how like just like minor things just change the trajectory of your life for sure.
it really does. I can say that. The same for me. Whether it's going to Palomar or going to Sacramento or even
Yeah,
now in Long Beach, I never thought that I'd leave my house.
yeah,
Like, I mean, you're an athlete, but sometimes you have to be an adult and do your own things, right?
yeah.
Like for me, I'm doing my own laundry now. I never thought I'd do that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah,
I was gonna ask is like, yeah, you just like recently moved out, moved up there.
yeah,
So
just
you're
recently.
experiencing this for the first time. I've kind of had 2 years of it. Like it's crazy.
It is
It's
crazy.
it's such a crazy adjustment. And that's why I made that during COVID, which was just more insane. But because like they had us like locked down for the lacrosse team, like getting tested multiple times a week for COVID, couldn't go anywhere. Food was delivered to us. It was crazy. It was like
It
we were
really
literally
was.
in like the NBA bubble for lacrosse.
Yeah, I talked to some of the players that were during COVID here,
Hmm.
and then so I ate at the dining hall at school, right? And they're like, yeah, when I was here freshman year, it was just come and go, grab and go.
Yeah,
Couldn't sit even sit down. Like, damn, that's
yeah, no,
unfortunate. So now I call this segment the Manny segment. Now I let
okay.
you take control of the driver's seat and ask whatever
Oh,
you want.
perfect. All right, I like this. I like this. Okay, yeah. So, all right, tell me what's the most challenging thing you're facing now that you're not on your own, but like more independent.
More independent. I so one thing I really struggle right now. This is a good one, man. One
Yeah.
thing I really now I don't really struggle. So I had two options to transfer. Long
Okay.
Beach or Chico State.
Okay.
I chose Long Beach because one, it's closer,
Hmm.
and I knew the train runs and gets around, so I can come home whenever I want.
True.
But this year something with the railroads in San Clemente. The train has been suspended.
Oh,
So me
really?
saying, "Hey, I want to go home this weekend," it's kind of hard
Yeah.
because I'm like, "Oh, I got to pick the Greyhound, and who knows how long that takes." But
Yeah.
I somewhat adjusted. You know, normally at the beginning I would have said finding going grocery shopping. Because now it's budgeting too.
Yeah, for
Because
real.
I am more picky when it comes to spending now.
Yeah.
Like it's not my parents' money no more; it's my money.
Yeah, no, I mean, like now I'm working like three jobs, like as a student athlete, just because I mean, like, I've never been the best at saving. Like I can save, but like I like to spend. So like I need to have a little bit of pocket change. So yeah, like, writing articles for my sports page for the school, and then I have this video editing internship, or like it's a digital marketing internship that I've been doing since the summer. Edit videos for them, and then I coach lacrosse too on the side. Um, just doing all of that, just balancing. So outside of that leads me to my next question. So outside of like writing your articles and like going to school, like what what does your life look like at college now that it like just you didn't expect, like from back home, like something like that's changed? Because I know when I went to Atlanta, like not who I am as a person changed, but like, a little bit, like
Yeah.
there's just things that you change, you learn and you grow when you grow or go away. So,
So outside of like the adulting stuff, like I don't know, making your own dinner or buying dinner. Um. This person it's my first semester out. So I was getting used to like the first couple weeks,
mhm,
building a system. I had mostly AM classes, and I said, nah, that's not gonna work for me. So it's just like having that system. Because when I was here, my mom or someone would say, hey, don't you gotta leave in like 5 minutes? It's just me being that responsible, and also I have a group of friends where I build a
mhm,
group of friends. Like I said, I'm close with the men's volleyball team. It's like having a set time, being like, hey, we're going to dinner, or hey, we're gonna go bowling or something. It was just
yeah,
because I started so late and I'm like considered one of the older guys transferring.
yeah,
It's just finding the people, and then
yeah,
being surrounded and but I'm mostly not in my dorm. I'm out and about, whether it's covering the game or chasing someone to get a quote.
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I never have a free second when I'm at school. So I like to come back here on like winter break. I'll just sit in front of the TV and play video games like the entire time, just with nothing to do.
So what video game are you on right now?
Dude, mom got me the PS5 for Christmas. She gave it to me early, so I'm playing God of War, the first one, the 2018 one, and
Okay,
then I'm gonna
okay.
play the new one. I'm gonna play the new one once I beat it.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
I've
no,
been
and
playing
that
a lot of 2K lately.
a lot of 2K. I haven't played 2K since like my freshman year, but I've been playing FIFA.
FIFA, yeah, I boycotted FIFA.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a copy and paste. Back home,
Back home.
what was the first thing you went or grabbed that Atlanta doesn't have?
Well, I will say this: Mexican food always, like, of course. I mean, like, there's a part of Atlanta that's actually really close to me that is largely Hispanic, very um much like there's this place called Plaza Fiesta, and it's just this indoor like Mexican mall, and I go there so much because it reminds me so much of home. And like I love it. And, like I got my first tattoo there. Like it's just like such good vibes, such good memories. Like like it's just like one of those places. So I'd say the Mexican food is hard to find out there unless you're going to Plaza Fiesta. So I got Mexican food first thing when I got back, had some enchiladas. Uh,
What has the lacrosse taught you? Whether it's your teammates, coaches, that made you into a better person or made you into you.
Um, I was just saying this to one of my teammates who's a freshman. I was saying yesterday, like college lacrosse has without a doubt been the most physically and mentally challenging and demanding thing I've ever encountered in my life. And I've always been the like put your head down and work kind of guy because I've always enjoyed it. And I know that like the real reward is the journey, not the destination. But college lacrosse, so I haven't even played 3 seasons yet. I've played 2 seasons and I'm on my third coach. So I flew all the way out to Atlanta. And I committed to that school based off one reason, and it was the head coach who recruited me. Like it was the perfect coach in my head. Like the guy I always wanted to play for. It was like this is who I know I want to play for. And then about like a month before school starts, we have a team meeting, and he says that he has to leave the program. He's moving states with his wife. So the only reason I was going to Atlanta was now gone necessarily, you know, because if that coach wasn't there, I might have gone to a different school. I don't think I would have gone to Oglethorpe, but I was like, I'm here and I'm not a quitter and I'm gonna stay, because that was my mentality at Del Lago too. How many people transferred out of Del Lago?
I know quite a lot, man.
Yeah, just about like
I know
half my
a
class.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, half our
so
class, pretty much.
yeah, and so I always, whenever that would happen, it was just like I would hate it because it was just like the no, I don't know. I'm a big like loyalty person, like I'm loyal to
Yeah,
super loyal to Del Lago. I carried that over. I was gonna be super loyal to Oglethorpe. So the coach was gone. We had this new coach. I say new coach. So the head coach my freshman year was he was an assistant coach at the school like 3 years prior. So like all of the seniors at that school were like his guys, and all like the underclassmen he didn't really like know. Like he didn't recruit me, he didn't know about me. And so going in there, I also like fractured my ankle, like hairline fractured my ankle in preseason my freshman year. So I felt like all the odds were stacked against me. This coach didn't like me. People were saying like I'm faking my injury, but I'm walking around in a boot. Like, it's tough on your mental. And then he ended up leaving 1 year later, and we get our assistant coach steps up and he's the interim head coach. So now that's my third coach, not even on my second season yet. But last season, I put my head down and the work paid off. And that just went to show that, like, if you really, as cliche as it sounds, like, you put your mind to something, if you work hard, like, you can achieve it. Like, that's just been my mentality. And, like, since Del Lago.
so I read that you finally moved out. You're on your own in an apartment.
Yeah, that's,
What's the feeling? How are you feeling?
I mean, it's crazy. I'm gonna be living there year round now, so I'm looking for jobs over in the summertime in Atlanta. I think it's really gonna hit me in the summer because I've been going to Atlanta and like living in a dorm, for so long now, for 3 years. So the apartment just feels like a nicer, bigger dorm. But I think once I'm out there over summer, and also at the beginning of summer, I'm driving my truck from San Diego to Atlanta, so I'll have my car out there for the first time.
How
Yeah,
long the drive?
I'm gonna meet my friend in Texas. I used to have a roommate, but he moved to Texas, so I'm gonna meet him in Texas, and then we're gonna drive all the way to Atlanta. So I don't have to make that trip alone. But I think that's really when it's gonna hit me. Once I have a car out there and I'm living there in the summer, like with a job. I mean, it's scary. Time is flying. Like, it's growing up a
Yeah,
little too fast. I
just
think you
three
can.
years
I think
ago.
you feel that.
3 years ago, we're just like, spring break came early. We're all celebrating, and 2 weeks came a month, and then we never got back. It's kind
Yeah,
of strange, and yeah, pretty much. So let's end this off on a good note.
definitely.
Is,
Yeah, it was a little
is
sad.
there is there any message, whether it's someone that's in your foot or shoes, trying to make it out there, or someone that, anyone that you want to say or share?
Take advantage of every single opportunity in front of you, because I mean, you don't know where it's gonna lead you, but it's only gonna bring positive things to you. When you started off this podcast, you were talking about how at Del Lago, like, I was the guy. Um, I appreciate you saying that. Not my words, your words. But that's because I had my foot in every door I could. I was, in student government or ASB, two sports teams, environmental action club, whole bunch of clubs. Just do everything you can and meet all these people you can. People say like network, 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 all that. Like just meet people. Like, just I was on a first name basis with our principals, with Helms and with Gregory. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but like I would be calling them by their first names. Like, like all I did was just start talking to them one day, just introduce myself. And now they were writing letters of referral, when I was getting in college, stuff like that. Like, it looks good. Like the superintendent of UHSD, like the business superintendent, like you got to make all these connections. And so I did the same exact thing when I got to college, but kind of with a vengeance, because in high school I only got like vice president titles, and I got to college, and college is bigger than high school, but I still go to a relatively small school, and I was like, every opportunity I have, I'm gonna take advantage of it. And I mean, it's led me like to great places. So now I have connections high up at the NCAA, going to meet with them in January. I'm in constant communication with the director of content, the Hawks. She's great. Just because I'm reaching out, just because I'm taking advantage of opportunities. President of that student athlete advisory committee taught me so many things. I'm in a frat as well. They voted me president of that. Um, but all that's to say that only happened because I tried, because I just bought in. And really, if you buy into yourself, you can't go wrong. All
My
right.
name's Manny Barrera, aka Manny, and this was a great episode. Thank you for listening, watching. Make sure you follow, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. My name's Manny, and this is
Robbie
and
King.